The reason why I constantly talk about personal development is because in my life I've experienced a lot of harsh things and a lot of difficult situations and trials and tribulations, and that's why I want to help others when you're going through something to continue to be strong at all times and just push through. And that could be for example, arguments in your place by your parents. That could be something that you're striving for in university or in high school. You're going for grades and you're getting stressed out and you're trying to study a lot because at different stages of your life you have different types of struggles and different types of fights. So if I compare the fights that I have today in my mind and in basically what I experience are more or less kind of the same feeling than a fifth grader would have going for a seventh grade to go to a high school by getting all the tests and results and GCSE, I think it's called, or in the UK. But these are kind of the same stress, the same stress as somebody that's going into high school right now I would have with things that grown-ups have in their lives. And the reason why, as I said, why I talk about personal development and always trying to help people through difficult situations in life is because I myself experienced so many that I can't even count it up to today. Today is the 20th of November 2022, and I'm currently in Watford. I moved to Watford on the 1st of November, and I went into to live. It was the first place that I found because I had to leave my previous place, which was in northwest London. It was very close to central as well, and it was my first time moving out of London. Watford is about 15 miles away from London, and it was a complete mistake what I did, and it was I'm recording this video for my own memory as well, the things that I'm going through right now. I went into a house with this guy that is renting his place, who I believe his parents bought him, and he was renting a room and a bathroom, basically an en-suite, what they call it, kind of like a studio in one room. And at first I thought it was great, and it was like a lot of space, and the guy looked chill, so I thought it was going to be like a family environment. And when I visited there on my viewing, it was like his mom was there, and they were like chatting, and we like had a good chat and good talk. And then he went through about 8-9 people, and he said, yeah, let's just do it, because apparently you have to fit the criteria nowadays in London. In this time of the market, it was extremely competitive. There was no places available, so he said, okay, yeah, we could do it. And I had a couple more that I looked at in northwest London, but I decided, you know what, let me do this so I can chill, and it's going to be easier for me to come to London. It's going to be 20 minutes away on the train and all that stuff. Well, I move in, and the guy starts like, he's responsible for the bills because I'm all bills included. And then he tells me, he starts looking at the meter of the fucking I don't even care if this video, like what happens to this video, I want to just share exactly how I feel. He starts monitoring the heating all the time, and he has this little digital heater, and this guy's like in his 40s, single, sad individual, very, very sad individual, very, very sad individual. And he starts like, oh, today is a 10-pound day, like yesterday was 7-pound day, like starts like counting like every single thing. And then he kept the heating off for a long time, and one night I messaged him and I said, hey man, it's a non-negotiable for me, I need heating. I was freezing. I came back home, I was freezing. I was like, that's not normal, like my hands were like cold. And he said, oh, there's no way I keep it on during the night. I said, I didn't ask you to keep it on during the night, I just asked you like to just keep it cool, so we have a good good living situation instead of freezing. And then because he's so cheap, and he doesn't work, he's unemployed, playing PlayStation all day and shit like that at home. It's just like lazy person, like doesn't do anything, just like lazy, like a loser. And from that, and I was like, I got so like tired, and there's one thing about when you, like, for some people it starts in an earlier age when you're like 20, 21, 22 as well. For me, it started when I was like 27 or 28, I'll say. This year it started. So just really not giving a fuck about anything. Like at this point, like I just stopped giving a fuck about anything, and I'm not compromising with anyone's like needs that I don't know, or that is like completely like unrelated person to me. Of course, for my family and for the close ones, I respect and I care about and I love. But with these examples where you get to a point where you just have to compromise with some random person that is just you're renting a room from. So I have no compromises with this and no stress with this at all. So I said to him, I'm gonna be leaving 1st of December. And I said, I'm gonna pay you for the month and I'm leaving, I'm gone. It's just not for me. It's not for me. So I didn't have a place on the line. So I didn't want to have a place on the line, because I'll tell you something about this. When you have something as like a plan B, you get comfortable in your plan A. So if I did not tell him that I'm gonna leave on the 1st of December, I probably wouldn't have left right now, and I would have been in this toxic situation longer than I should have been. And then I started looking for places immediately. Like I told him, I'm leaving, and I didn't even look for places. And I told him, I'm leaving the place, I don't give a fuck. And I was like, 1st of December, I'm gone. So I pay him for the month, and I'm staying in, and I'm like, okay, I am gonna be gone in 25 days, I gotta find a place. Now I have pressure to find a place, and I love that, because what happens is when you put pressure on yourself, you change for the better, and your situation changes for the better. So what I've done is I started looking for places, and I got a couple of places from the government schemes that I found, and I was running around London. I remember running around Victoria, running around like just central London, looking like for viewings. Like I would go on an app called Spare Room, and I would just like spam everybody with like an introduction about myself and all that. Spam literally zone 1 to zone 4 in London. I would just go nuts on everything. Like I paid for the subscription, like £20 you pay, and then you can just spam everybody. And I just went spamming, and I got up to like 3 places to view. And then all of a sudden I started emailing these companies that I used to look for places with, that were these institutions that are close to the government, so they give you like a cheaper rent in London. I started emailing them, saying I need a place, and then two came back, and they say, yeah, we have actually one studio available in one place, which is located in Northwest, where I actually used to live, and then they had another close to where I used to live, and then they had another one in Victoria, literally city center Victoria, but it was kind of like a council kind of thing. A council flats are these like affordability flats for people in England, and usually they don't have too good of reputation. But I went and I saw it, and it was actually great. It was too expensive. It was about 800, and it was like too expensive as a studio, and then no bills included, and everything was like very, very like everything will be cold, and it was like old inside and all that stuff. And then I go, the third place that I saw on Spare Room, I was like, it was a studio, but it was like this luxurious studio that's at $789 a month, and I was like, this can't be true. So I looked at the company. The company is this place that does co-living places. So you have like offices in there, you have like cinema, you have like a big restaurant, you have your own studio, you have everything, and it's like this big building, like an 8-floor building with elevators and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, let me see if I can check it out. So I start messaging, but I'm like, nothing happens with messaging. It's like, it's all about hard work. It's all about hard work and just really pushing, like always constantly pushing for things. Like you cannot just rely on like messages and things like that. So I called him. I called him like 11 times on the phone. So I called him. I was like, they're not picking up. I'm calling them. They're not picking up. I'm calling them. They're not picking up. On the 11th, 12th time they pick up, and I say, hey, I submitted an application today I went on their website for a place that I saw that you're advertising, the studio. I want to view it today. And she's like, well, I don't think I have something that I said I need to do it today. And she's like, let me see what I have. It was 11 o'clock when I called them. And they said for 12:30, we could block you in at 12:30 viewing. And I was like, shit, I'm going there. I don't care. So I say, yeah, of course, I confirm. So I go 12:30, and I'm like, I have a few meetings at work, and then I go run. I take a train. I go to the viewing 12:30, and I'm there. I was like, the building is beautiful, reception, everything beautiful. I go there, they tell me, yeah, they show me the studio. It was ridiculously luxurious, beautiful. You would never imagine that, a place in London. Incredible place. I go there and tell me, like, because you're earning this much money, you have to be on a higher rent. And I was like, okay, cool, that's absolutely fine. I'm on a higher rent, but I really like the place. It was completely new. Nobody has used it. Nothing. Like, completely new place. Like, nobody has used, like, ovens, stoves, everything inside. Like, completely new. And you only by yourself. You have very, like, security, all that stuff. You have big, like, roof terrace, all that stuff. Beautiful place. View it in. The guys are great and everything. And I was like, cool. And I was like, is this available right now? He's like, yeah, let's do it. So I go there and I fill in an application and I pay a £200 deposit to take it off the market. I was like, I'm taking it. I'm getting it. I don't care. So I'm going there, and I'm like, and I look at everything. I submit an application, £200 I pay, and I was like, this thing is secure for me. And I told him I'm gonna move in 1st of December. 1st of December though, it's too far away. I look it up and I go back home, and they were under the impression I'm gonna move in as soon as possible. I was like, no, 1st of December. So I come and I go, and they help me out to change the contract and everything. I was like, 1st of December, all right, cool. So I look at it, I was like, that's an incredible place. Like, that's such a life-changing experience for me, from like nothing to like something. And I was like, oh man, I'm so grateful for putting this challenge on me for like 1st of December so I can find these great places. And it was just an opportunity. The place now is no longer available. Nobody can get it. It's only mine. And I told him 1st of December, but then yesterday I go back home, and this guy that I'm living with, he has some anger issues, and he starts yelling at me for some bullshit, like something like in the kitchen, some 2 drops of water on the counter, some shit like that. And it's like, this guy is absolutely out of his mind. I just cannot believe that this person yelled at me. So nobody yells at me ever. Like, nobody just. And yesterday he yelled at me. I was like, I'm calm about it. It's all good. Like, I'm calm about it. Everything's fine. Respectful and calm. Today, I go back home, and then I tell him, you can't disrespect me like that ever again. Ever again. You can't yell at me ever again. And I started like talking. And I started like yelling at him. I was like, you can't fucking talk to me like this. And then we argue. And then we agreed to leave tomorrow. So I'm leaving tomorrow, basically, Watford, in 7:30 in the morning, and I'm going to my new place. I haven't confirmed the new place yet. I confirmed for the 1st of December, but I'm gonna show up there and make it happen. I'm going and I'm gonna say, hey, I'm moving in. That's it, today. Can you clean it? Can you do it? Whatever. That's it, because it's a new place, so it's gonna be all fine. But tomorrow morning, that's a life-changing thing. That's a life-changing stuff. It's like, because I don't compromise with anyone, and because I'm now looking for my own good, I no longer care about anything else than my own good, to make sure that I'm healthy, to make sure that I live a better life, to make sure that I have a great time. And like, often people think about, I'm gonna struggle through a couple of months and then I'm gonna live a good life, I can't, I used to struggle in the past. And it's not important. The past and the future is not important. What's important is now. It's like, now to be okay. And with all the issues that I had in my life, they've all been, most of the time, is because I'll think about the future and I'm like, okay, so I'm struggling right now, but maybe in the future it'll be better. No, it's the way to do it. Like, you just have to prioritize yourself, and that's why I'm making this video.
about personal development, because shit like that happens in all of our lives, in one way or another. As I said, as a youngin, you probably have different problems. As an adult, you have different problems. And to me, this doesn't even phases me, at the point that I am not even faced about all this stuff. Like, the point that having an argument with a person, I was like, and then leaving tomorrow with a 10-hour notice, I'm not even faced. I called a couple of people that I know that have a truck. They got me in straight away tomorrow 7:30, all scheduled in. And it's this like you just have to really like change things now, and not like wait for later until things are better, or things are like, of course people go through stuff, but really now is important. And that's why I make this video, because I want to help other people that are going through stuff as well, to realize that you can be, most of the time why we go through shit is because we ourselves are not focused on improving. And so to give you an example, if I hadn't put a budget in my spare room thing I put a budget of like, I put a smaller budget, I wouldn't have had this experience, because I would have gone to somebody else that had probably a better place. So, but I didn't want to, but that's what I did. I just put this budget in, and that's what it showed me. And then I started looking for places, and that's what I got. And then, but of course you never know who you're gonna get. You know, you thought that somebody's got a nice person or something, and it's all good, and then they turn to be absolutely like insane. But you never really know. The point is, the decisions that we make in our life determine what we have at the moment, and how we feel, and what we experience, and how much trauma we get from things, and how much success we get from things, is by you deciding to say, enough is enough, and that's it. And to me, enough is enough was this night, and this night was my breaking point, or breaking point as they call it, to really change this, and to never like look back again, because I can no longer be dealing with this. It's like complete. I am no longer compromising with any strangers or anybody. Like, I really don't care anymore. Like, any landlords or anybody, I don't care. It's like I'm prioritizing myself, and that's the most important thing. And that's why I want to teach people as well, to help you with this, because there's nothing more daunting than staying in your current situation just because you're used to it. Like, the way to change yourself is to challenge yourself and to get out of your comfort zone. And it's very, very important to always look at how can you live better now, and not live better in 2 days or in 2 years or 3 years, because you're struggling, you're wasting your life living like in a bad situation. So really prioritize yourself. One thing to take away from this video: prioritize yourself and your close ones, your friends, your family. Prioritize those people and yourself to have a better life, and to live a happier and fulfilling life. So I'm gonna leave you on this note. Maybe next video you're gonna see me from my new place, but this video, as I'm currently in Watford in a hotel, staying here in the lobby because it's closer to mine, and I just have to do some more work until I come back home. It's 9 o'clock right now, 9 p.m. It is 9:14 p.m. Sunday 20th. And yeah, it's I hope this video helped you, or got you to kind of prioritize yourself more and not care about anything else. But enjoy it. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you ever had an experience in your life where is a one question, if you ever had an experience in your life that was a breaking point into a completely better outcome for you, tell me in the comments below.